guys, last week we made the sun and the ground for our Carle collage. Today we're going to actually get our animal, cut it out, add some details, and finish this picture. So gather your supplies and let's get started. Okay, so I have two papers that I have created the sun and the ground for. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the paper that I created last time that has the animal shapes on the back and the texture on the other side. I'm going to take one of these and I am going to use them to add to the paper. So turn it over where you can see the lines and cut on those lines. You don't need to really worry about what's going on the other side if you painted the whole thing. Take your time and do a nice, careful job of cutting. Careful of your fingers. Watch where the blade is moving. And remember to use your other hand as a guide to steer the paper. You might want to save this paper because if you've got scraps, you might want to use that for other things in your picture if you've got time. So I'm going to cut out this one. I'm doing an elephant. But like I said, you may end up doing a different animal, and that's fine. I'll put some of the other examples of animals at the end of this video so that you can see how they look when they're all finished. Okay. So now I have my animal all cut out. Before I glue it onto my paper, I like to test it out to see which way, how I want the pieces to go, especially with the elephant. I could have the trunk going down if I put it on this side, or I can have it going up. I kind of like the going up version this way. And the neat thing about having your pieces in different places is you can have them moving around and arrange them. Think about the composition of your artwork before you glue anything. These are the ears. Now you'll notice I don't have every single part of the elephant I'm going to put the ears on each side. I don't have every single part. Like for example, I'm missing the tail, or if you wanted tusks or eyes, you're going to get the chance to do that today. But what you want to work on first is getting the big pieces done so that you don't lose them. So once you kind of have an idea of where you want your paper to go, you've figured out your composition. Remember, composition is how you place things on your paper, and you are being very careful and thinking about how you want to do that. For example, you don't want to have the ears out like this because that's not going to look like an elephant then. So you want to make sure you're thinking about that. I always like to glue on the big piece first. And so put glue on the back. Don't glue on your big white paper, put the glue on the back of the animal, making sure you're getting clear to the end of the feet. And you're getting a nice layer of glue. Remember, my fingers are a little sticky still, and that's okay. I like to make sure the feet are touching the ground on the elephant. I'm just going to give that just a little pat before I turn it over and rub. There we go. Now, I always like to work biggest to the smallest. So the next piece that's the biggest would be this one here. Try not to have it hang off the edge of my paper, so I think I'll put it a little bit more like that. There, just barely fits in there. All right, so get the whole trunk, put it on there. Make sure the trunk's not going to fall off of there before. It's okay if part of your animal is overlapping your sun. Oh, I still ended up with a little of my trunk hanging off the edge, so I'm going to just take my scissors and snip that off. Okay, I'm going to do the ears next. Making sure one's on each side. I kind of see if I can slip it under there before. Oh, I like how it kind of goes over the top of the sun just a little bit. It overlaps. It's covering up a little bit of that sun. See if I can lift that up too a little bit. All right, now, if you have time today, take some of these extra scraps if you've got them that left over from your other papers, and what you're going to do is you're going to make like the tail, those missing pieces on your animal. So and this one, I think I want to have a tail. Now tails on elephants are really kind of tiny, so I think about that. And then put a little glue on the back. I'm really glad I didn't wash my hands right now because I would just be wanting to wash them again. Put that on there. And, you know, if I were to use this paper for my eyes, I don't think you'd be able to see it very well. So I'm going to use a contrasting paper for the eyes, which my grass would be contrasting enough. So I think I'm going to just take and I'm going to cut out kind of a small little shape. Doesn't have to be very big. Before I glue it on, I want to make sure my eyes look kind of similar. So I'm going to do another one. Let's see, how does that look? That's a little big. I'm going to trim that off. All right, now that I have that ready, I'm going to put some glue on that. It's got pink eyes. I love it. If I want to do tusks, I could do tusks. I could do toenails. Ooh, I think I might do the toenail idea. So I'm going to take a little bit of this pink paper. To be very careful here, though. I'm going to cut out some little tiny squares. Elephants do not have sharp toenails. I need some for the back leg, too. Now, if you're at home and you're doing this and you would like to use some construction paper or something else to kind of add these small little details, you can. You can even use a crayon. But I want you to be creative, have a little fun with this. Oh, it stuck to my finger. Sometimes these little pieces can be a little tricky because they want to stick to you just as much as you want them to stick to the paper. I'm going to use some of this that I had for leftover. See if I can make a really, you know what, maybe I'll use the leftover from this. Make a small little shape. And if you have time to do some other details in your paper today, you certainly can. That is up to you how much you want to do that. Sometimes I've given people at home a second piece of paper, and if you still have that, you can use that to do all sorts of fun little details. Maybe I will maybe I will do, maybe I'm going to do a little flower, I think. Maybe I can make two if I fold it in half. Save myself some. Oh, I just had a better idea. It looks like my elephant's looking back at something. So I am going to make a butterfly or a little bug flying in the sky. Okay, I love this. So once you've finished making your collage today, I'd love to see a picture of it. If you're at school, we'll upload it to Artsonia. At home, you can do that too. If you're at home, also please load a picture of this to Seesaw so I can make a comment on there for you as well. All right, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you some more of the different types of animals that you can make and give you some ideas on that. And I can't wait to see what you've made. All right, have a very creative day, and until next time, goodbye.